want to watch Audio Odyssey. Honk! Hello everyone, and welcome back to your favorite show for all things gaming and rarely tech-related, Gentoo! I'm Jonas Pilot.
And I'm Gabe Chadwick. Thanks for checking out this episode of Gentoo. Let's see what new games are releasing this week. Spider-Man Peter Parker and Miles Morales swing into action facing Venom and a sinister new symbiote threat. It's the test of strength both under the mask and out, as they aim to rescue the city, each other, and their beloved citizens. In the bustling streets of Marvel's New York, enjoy faster web swinging and all new web wings, while seamlessly switching between Peter Parker and Miles Morales for distinct stories. Spider-Man 2 releases for PS5 on October 20th.
Build, grow, and rule your dream city in Cities Skylines 2. Lay the groundwork, plan strategically, and energize industries while keeping citizens happy and the budget in check. Watch your city evolve with the seasons and adapt when the unexpected strikes. Join a thriving community of builders to enhance your city with mods. Cities Skylines 2 releases October 24th for PC, with PlayStation and Xbox coming in spring 2024. Now, those games sound awesome, and don't miss out on them. Remember to stay tuned for next week's gaming releases.
Now, without further ado, let's dive into more captivating stories from the Foxhole.
The city of Fairmore was once a bustling metropolis sitting in the heart of the colonial empire, but has now become the bloodiest battleground this war has seen yet.
I'd always heard about Fairmore. Someone said it was one of the best cities in the colonial empire. But now, you never would have guessed it. Trenches everywhere, shell holes everywhere, bodies just everywhere. It was one of the worst battlegrounds I'd ever seen throughout the entire war. I'd never seen anything like it. I got there right as we were hitting the outskirts of Fairmore. Me and my squad were deployed to the front lines where we were making a push towards the outskirts. And here, the Collies had dug in deep, and they were fighting hard to keep their city. Fairmore was a city that was a symbol of pride and joy for the colonial empire, and so they were not going to let it fall easy. Dug in deep and dug in hard, our forces washed up against them like a blue tide. But this was the fiercest resistance we'd seen yet. Every inch of ground was soaked in blood. Wardens and colonials alike falling on either side of the line. No one really knew where it was. It had been turned into a no-man's land, like the stories I heard of the old wars. Front line fluctuated so much, it was just chaos everywhere. Some even said you could see things. I even saw stuff. Once, I swear, I saw a man flying over the battleground. No one ever believed me, and no one else saw it, but I knew what I saw that day, and he was there. Some just chalk it up to war exhaustion, but I don't know. New Warden rocket artillery was being used here at the front line, one of the new productions of the Relic program. I was used to the old artillery, one shell, one hole, but this thing, it fired 10 rockets at once and just laid a swath of incendiary, fiery destruction in front of it. And I saw it in action. Hell, it landed 20 feet in front of me when I was pushing the lines. I almost lost my life to it. But that's my job as a soldier. I don't flinch when the shells fall. I just push forwards. Both sides knew that Fairmore would be a turning point in the war. Whoever won here at Fairmore would have a huge breakthrough into the center that neither side would be able to stem the flow of. And so both sides fought hard, and every last drop of equipment that was in the area was thrown into this fight at Fairmore. We gained ground inch by inch, but every inch was 100 men gone, never to see their families again. But the Collies were putting up a fierce resistance, and every inch we gained, we'd lose another 2. We went on like this for weeks, pushing here, pushing there, but the Collies still held the outskirts of Fairmore, and we were trying our hardest to break in. Some were wondering if we would ever break in, or if the Warden lines would finally break here at Fairmore. Some were losing hope, but I never lost hope, and I will never lose faith in the Warden Free State. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Stories from the Foxhole, and make sure to tune in next week.
can run, but you can't hide. Oh. Hey guys, didn't see you there. Oh, don't worry. I wasn't doing anything bad. Anyways, hi, I'm Corby, and welcome back to my content corner. Want to hear a gaming take that's been on my mind for a while? Yes, it's about horror games again. But this time, a multiplayer horror game. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight released June of 2016 and is still receiving updates from the devs and love from the community to this day. The main premise is basically scary killer tries to kill 4 guys while they work together to escape, and probably get speared on a hook a time or two just cuz. From someone who's played this game a bit, it's fun, but there's something way better. Friday the 13th, the game released May of 2017, about a year after DBD, and although it has a very similar premise, it does it way better. And I know what some of you guys are thinking. What does this dumb game do better than Dead by Daylight? Well, I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, but everything. Literally everything. For starters, the map is way bigger and more immersive with the theme of Camp Crystal Lake. You actually have ways to escape that make sense, unlike the random generators that are thrown everywhere so that you can open a big door. And different ways to escape. You can call the police, take a car, take a boat, and even kill Jason himself. Wait a second, you can kill the killer? Yeah, that's right. This game actually gives the players power for once. Unlike DBD, which, let's be honest here, is just running in circles and getting hooked time after time before getting the generators and escaping, Friday the 13th actually lets the players fight back. Did Jason grab you? Stab him with a pocket knife. Is Jason breaking down your door? Set up a bear trap and throw firecrackers at him. Did Jason grab your friend? Shoot him with a shotgun or hit him with a baseball bat. I don't care. On top of this, the killer is actually scary because there are higher stakes. In DBD, you can get down as many times as the killer wants, and your friend can always come and revive you. But in Friday, it's one and done. If he slashes you one too many times before you heal, or grabs you without a weapon or friend to save you, you are gone. Brutally murdered in cold blood and forced to watch your friends suffer the same fate. This makes the game feel so much scarier, as every moment Jason is near might be your last. And I'm running out of time, but I'll just say this. The survivors are actually very different from each other and have interesting and useful skills. The exploration is perfect, and the player count of up to 8 people makes this game truly feel like you're playing in a horror movie. So in conclusion, Dead by Daylight is a fun game and all, but it is clear that Friday the 13th is a better game. So that's it, guys. I'll see you guys next time, and what? They added Nicolas Cage? Dang it! This changes everything! Why?
KZLX LP Maryville. Your 24/7 Top 40 radio. Live radio coverage of events, live concerts, and DJ service.
In a land born of conflict, where the line between divine and demonic are blurred. Five legendary heroes must save the day. Or not.
I don't know what it's called. I come from the marsh, so I don't know what it's called.
Come watch Sulphur and Saloons on Wednesday at noon.
My name is Gabriel Lozano, and welcome to the 5th episode of Audio Odyssey, a show where we go over some of the best video game soundtracks and what makes them so great. This week, we're going to be taking a look at the soundtrack of Doom. To be honest, this week I couldn't really decide which Doom game to talk about, but I eventually decided why not talk about both the 2016 game and the more recent Doom Eternal. Both of these soundtracks are amazing, and they both really put you in the shoes of the Doom Slayer. Doom was released on May 13th, and after its release I immediately went and got my hands on a copy of the game. After playing for a few hours, I realized pretty fast that something that makes this game so amazing is its music. The music of Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal is a perfect balance of upbeat metal music and electronic music, and this perfect blend of two genres makes you really feel like an unstoppable force. Not only does the Doom music play a role in giving the game a great atmosphere, but it also plays a crucial role in letting the player know when a fight's about to happen, and how many more demons you're going to have to fight off before that fight ends. As you smash your way through the levels, the music will ramp up right before your enemies jump out of the shadows, and as the fight gets more intense, so does the music. The music is perfectly placed at different parts of the level to make the game as intense as possible, and I think Doom's soundtrack does an amazing job at this. It's no question that Doom is a violent game, and the intense music helps add to this gruesome and fast-paced nature of the game. The intense music of both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal was composed by the Australian composer Mick Gordon. Gordon is mainly known for his work on Wolfenstein, Crysis 3, Atomic Heart, and many more. I personally think Doom is Gordon's best soundtracks just because of how intricate Doom's music really is. In Doom, Gordon used many of the same ideas and riffs in the original 1993 Doom game, but expanded on them and made the original Doom theme sound even better than it already did. While writing the music of Doom, Gordon used some extremely technical ways of getting specific sounds when trying to get an electronic feel to the music. One of these unique ways was stripping sound all the way down to sound waves, and then running those sound waves through effect processors, which corrupts the sound and gives the music a weird, intense electronic feel. And don't worry if that sounds super confusing, because it definitely is, and this is one of the reasons the music is so good. I highly recommend watching some of his videos on YouTube where Mick dives into some of the cool ways he makes Doom's music so unique. So, next time you're smashing your way through hundreds of demons, think about what Doom would be like without its amazing music, and how important and intricate the music of Doom really is. And that was another episode of Audio Odyssey. I hope everyone had an amazing time watching, and I hope to see everyone here next week on Gentoo.
Content warning. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mental State, the show where we dive into the psychological side of classic video game characters. This week, we will be taking a look into What Remains of Edith Finch, a game that looks into the Finch's family history from a first-person perspective. Without further ado, let us dive in. The main plot running through this game is the fact that the family has a curse, leading to the death of each family member in different tragic ways. From broken swings,
the day he made up his mind to fly,
to home break-ins,
the dog, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
To babies drowning, to cliff fallings.
Try not to think about Dad!
To freak storms.
Sea and foam.
This family has seen it all. Where this curse truly shines, however, is in the stories of three particular family members, those being Molly, Walter, and Lewis. Molly's story begins with her mother sending her to bed without food. Hungry, she begins to eat anything she can find, seeing herself as different creatures mid-hunt. This ends with her thinking that a creature has entered her room with plans to eat her. She dies that very night, having eaten inedible things in her delusions. For Walter, we find him living in a bunker under the house. He does this after being the only witness to the murder of his sister, Barbara. He thinks that the entity is still after him, and stays in the bunker for nearly 4 decades. Growing tired of his monotonous life, he breaks out of the bunker, seeing the sky for the first time in forever. His freedom is cut short, however, as an oncoming train takes his life. Our final character, Lewis, gained his delusions while working at a dead-end job. He envisioned a world where he was king, and built the world more and more while at work. This ended with him dying in a workplace accident while accepting the crown of the kingdom. Delusions are, in essence, thoughts that are believed so much they become reality. The thought of the curse of the Finch family is, in a way, a delusion that a majority of them believe. For Molly, Walter, and Lewis, their delusions went further. Each of their stories highlight different ways that delusion can affect the mind. Molly's hunger for food led her to thoughts of predators mid-hunt. Walter's thoughts of a mystery killer led him to a life underground, hiding from a boogeyman. Lewis's thoughts of another world skewed his own worldview, blurring the lines between reality and fiction. These three cautionary tales show that, when left untreated, delusions can lead to detrimental effects. Thank you for coming into my office. I have once again been Dr. Snotterly. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week for our 6th session.
Look who I caught trying to delete a pack.
George, you can't hold him like that. Delete a pack? He would never do that.
Dude, I literally just saw him. Do you want to flash back?
Let's.
See, I told you.
No, maybe he's only acting out because you're being a bad goose father.
I'm not a father to this goose. That's not even a real duck.
That's it. I'm calling Dr. Snotterly. We're going to co-host counseling, Gabe.
Okay, we can do that after the show.
Fine. Just finish it.
Let's go to Duck and Dumber.
It's Dark and Dumber.
Hello, and welcome back to Dark and Dumber. I'm your host, Evan. Halloween is right around the corner, so the jack-o'-lanterns in the market, candy corn is abundant in the dungeon, and chest loot has been majorly buffed, so let's get right into the plundering. Starting off with some ranger, we're clearing mobs and making short and easy work of them. Always needing to clear mobs, but gotta be fast so we don't get caught with our pants down. With no bogeys around, I take a seat. Nothing deadly here. Nearing the end, we find a wraith and decide to take it out. Almost lost to it, but luckily there are house shrines nearby. Now with my pockets stuffed and the portal closing, time to find a way out. Finding a portal that I definitely didn't steal from our barb. I loot a little extra, and then I get out. Losing a party member, we move to Ruins. For a duo run, it did not disappoint. Ruins is filled with plenty of hidden treasure spots and has a higher loot pool than the other maps currently. After clearing some mobs, we hear players on the other side of the door. So I grab a Shrine of Power and we rush in. Making quick work of the rogue, then pushing back the warlock and finishing him off. But another rogue comes in, killing my partner. After a lengthy duel, he retreats and I take the chance to get out. Now that I've reached level 15 on a character, we can go into High Roller. But not only that, we can finally access the marketplace, albeit for the small fee of 25 gold. A godsend for anyone entering the dungeons. Come trade with other players and find whatever pieces of gear you need to survive. The market has its own economy, depending on the flow of the game, exploits, and overall how accessible gear is to obtain in the raid, like armor, which is the price has gone down hundreds of gold pieces, while any amulet or ring is a pinfold, often paying out thousands of gold for a mediocre piece of jewelry. So keep your eye on the market's economy to know when to buy and when to sell. Now, for the main event, it's time for a High Roller run. Right off the bat, I notice how odd the other players are. Probably gone mad from sitting in these pre-game lobbies for so long. While the mobs are all red versions or higher now, we still make quick work of them. Making our way through the dungeon, we see a lone man. Almost catching him, but he ran out of the circle. Nearing the final circle, no one had died, but the entire lobby just met in this room, and it's a bloodbath that sadly took me with it. Thank you for tuning in this week to Dark and Dumber. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna ice everything after that High Roller run. Things tend to get a little hot and spicy down there. Catch you next time.
All right, that was good, y'all. It's in the breakdown set. Hey, welcome to Nerd Central, your one-stop shop for anything movies, TV shows, and even the latest celebrity news.
From the newest releases and even your local film festival, we'll have it all right here.
We're here to uncover the Easter eggs that you might have missed, and even the secret plot lines that you might not have picked up on. Right here, we'll uncover the mysteries on Nerd Central.
Launching Wednesdays at 6 on KNWT TV.
Make sure you check out Bearcat Update this week as we'll be covering volleyball, soccer, golf, and a big win for the football team in St. Joseph. We also sat down with a cross-country star, and I'm going to be taking on the soccer team and attempting to block a penalty kick. Check us out.
Welcome back to Mustard's Madness, where we are preparing for the All-Star break and trying to make it into 3 of the 4 events. Before we get into that, we have to focus on the matchup in front of us, which is a young OKC team led by SGA and Chet Holmgren. We start off the game by trying to get an open 3, but an overplay by the defense lets me in the lane for a layup. After setting the screen for Fox, we get the open 3 look that we wanted and cash in for the first 5 points of the game. OKC has some great defensive players, so the goal is to create good plays on defense that lead to transition offense, which we see right here leading to a Harrison Barnes slam. Another defensive stop sadly leads to a missed shot on the break. On the next fast break, I work it into the paint. With a spin off the back down, I get an easy scoop shot with the left hand. This gives me my slashing takeover, providing boosted interior stats, and with Chet out of the paint, I get another layup off the glass. Since I scored once with the spin off the back down, I try again and hit the counter move this time, which almost worked but still leads to a foul where I'm sit to the line and able to convert both free throws. After a long-range 3-ball and a nice drop-step layup on the fast break, we have an early lead going into the second quarter. My first play in the second quarter, I'm able to wiggle free in the paint and find the area where no defense was being played for an easy 2. Testing my luck after the failed pin-down screen, I'm driving with Chet inside, but Sabonis had great position in the paint, letting me slip off him and finding another layup. We go into halftime with a 4-point lead, where I have contributed 20 points and 2 steals. A missed heat check out of the break by me leads to a Sabonis putback, getting the lead back to 4. Finally getting to face their best player in SGA, I attack his left hip downhill, and with another spin, I get just enough space to put up an easy layup over his outstretched arms. Isaiah Joe is too small to defend me, so I bullied my way into the lane and drew another foul on him. Making both at the charity stripe gets me to 24 on the night. I get subbed back into the start of the fourth, and now we're down by 5. So I try and get Fox open, but they double him, leaving me wide open, cutting into their lead. On the next possession, I hit a step back to create space and launch the 3. Just like that, we retake the lead. My takeover is activated once again. I see Chet in the paint, but since I'm driving, I challenge him at the rim and can't finish the play, but draw the foul and split both free throws. With a tied game, I gamble on the pass and come up with a clutch steal. I could give the ball up to Fox, but I wanted the dunk for myself, punching it in with one hand. A little late on the pass to the corner leaves my teammate covered, so he passes it back, which lets me draw another foul, this one on Joe again. I made both free throws, giving me 7 on the game. We execute the give and go on the right side perfectly, and with the defender on my left hip, it's an easy layup to extend the lead. I get Sabonis to set me a screen, and this pass absolutely threads the needle when Chet helped on the drive, giving me my second assist. With a 7-point lead, I came off the pin down, tried to shoot a 3, but my foot was on the line, making it just a long 2. Chet stole the ball from me, but he's a center with low ball handling, so I'm able to steal it right back and hit Sabonis for another assist. Right here, I could have run the clock out, but I decided to get greedy, cut past Joe, throwing down a 2-handed dunk to end the game. With another win under our belt, we can finally look ahead to the All-Star break. At this point, I'm sure we've made the Rising Stars, but you'll have to tune in next time to see if we made the All-Star game itself.
Cyberpunk 2077 became an underdog story with this latest DLC, thanks to an absolutely killer addition to this story and dozens of much-needed changes that brought this game from the bottom of a landfill. It's not even the same game in some people's eyes. Many players, such as myself, still found a love for this game before its big 2.0 Phantom Liberty update. But many people who weren't so loyal to the series couldn't look past its undeniable issues. Something that flies under the radar here is that this game's development faced just as many difficulties. Like a lot. So that brings me to today's episode. What happened to Cyberpunk 2077? Why did it flop so hard on release? And how did it get here?
Gotta hand it to you, V. Wiser than I was back in the day.
High expectations. Cyberpunk had an audience to please. Just before Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red dropped a Game of the Year, The Witcher 3, and 2 amazing DLCs to go along with it. This game set a bar. And if Cyberpunk didn't meet it, or pass it, it was doomed to fail. Oh, the pandemic. Take a look at 2020's list of games and how many have got shoved back at least a year. Cyberpunk was no different. And if anything, it was hit at one of the most crucial times of its development. Now, all that has to be done remotely, making an already difficult final stretch even more complicated. Marketing hype. Sometimes a game just can't please what people expect it to be, and Cyberpunk was plagued with this long before its release. People already knew that iconic samurai logo and the in-universe song Chippin' In long before it hit streaming platforms. People expected this game to be the game of the century, some even expecting it to be some cyberized version of the next GTA 5, when really that wasn't ever the scale of what Cyberpunk was supposed to be. Fans were upset, and even went as far as to post long personal threats towards developers online. And now, investors were pushing the company to release the game as quickly as possible too. And the game suffered because of this. All these issues should have meant inevitable failure for this game, right? CD could have just written this off as a major loss and move on to the next game. But they didn't. CD Projekt kept its doors open to criticism and let the game simmer on low heat for 2 years. And the result? Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty has sold more copies than The Witcher 3. It's ironic. A game about a mercenary who died, that comes back from the dead, the game itself also got a second chance at life. Pretty poetic, I'd say. And besides the dedicated developers who genuinely loved this game and stuck it out, I believe Cyberpunk can thank the success of Edgerunners and 2077's Edgerunners update that followed for the second chance at life. We'll take a look at how that update more or less kept this game alive until its revival next week. This has been Zach. I'm out of here, Chumba.
Hello, and welcome back to I'm Not a Loser, where I show you how to be as good at video games as I am. When it comes to games of any kind, I'm just a natural. But today we're playing what I believe is the blockiest game I've ever played: Minecraft. When it comes to Minecraft, you can call me an architect. When it comes to Minecraft, the main objective of the game is part of the name: crafting. When crafting, you can combine different materials that can make anything from fences to swords. Using materials in Minecraft is very important, because without food or armor or weapons, you'll be dead when night falls. Unless you're like me, in which I'm kind of the quintessential best Minecraft combatant of all time. I never, and as you can see from the gameplay, never run away. Another huge part of Minecraft is creativity. When playing Minecraft, it is important to use the game's tools to experiment with fun ideas that can lead to even crazier ideas. These creative options are what drive Minecraft's gameplay and really make it a staple game. And let's not forget, I'm probably the most creative person you know. Okay guys, I'm ready to reveal my house to you. Okay, I think it's pretty good in my opinion. I just want to hear your thoughts on it. When playing Minecraft, keep in mind that if you can think of an idea, it's more than likely possible. Finally, another huge part of Minecraft is also in the name: mining. Mining is an amazing way to check your progress in the game. Nothing is more rewarding than upgrading your wooden sword to a stone sword and then to an iron sword. These materials can only be acquired from mining, so it is important to always be mining and collecting more and more materials, which I am the best at. Not even close, baby. Hopefully these tips and tricks will be helpful in your crafting endeavors. Minecraft is a game that gives you the go-ahead to do whatever you please, whether that be fighting to exploring. You can play Minecraft however you see fit. So go in with an open mind and watch out for those creepers. Dude, I didn't even see it coming. Like, where was that even from?
So, what brings you into my office today?
It just feels like there's been a big disconnect between me and Gabe recently. Can I just sign off? Can you just focus on counseling for once?
What would you say is the biggest problem?
Well, Gabe,
The duck.
it's not a duck! It's a
And
goose!
that would be time.
You didn't even solve anything!
You can come back for your next session.
Fine, let's just wrap up. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Gentoo.
If you liked it, be sure to give a thumbs up.
And for more Gentoo content, hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and check out some of our old episodes.
Stay tuned for next week's episode.
And next week's counseling session.
This is going on your bill.
How much?
$10,000.
Oh my God.
Oh. Oh my God.
Oh my God! Oh my God!